All right. Let's go. We got BYUN down here in the bottom right side of that map. Going to be playing a Terran versus Protoss up against ASTREA. It is the winner's stage here from the ESL Summer Yonshiping. And bloody exciting to see how this one goes. ASTREA has been looking fantastic. The king of North America at the moment. He stomped his region. He looked dominant there. He also looked creative and inspired in many of his games. But he's going up against a guy that usually has his number. BYUN is so brutally powerful. And because ASTREA is so greedy and kind of lets BYUN get going, I do feel that BYUN can sometimes play a little bit of an unafraid style in this matchup specifically. Now, interesting barracks placement. Looks like BYUN just wants to maybe get his Reaper across the map quicker by jumping down, as well as potentially hiding it from the probe. The probe might come in, and if ASTREA doesn't check that corner, he might panic a little bit, thinking there is a barracks on his side of the map. He's going to be a Cybercore before Nexus. He sends his probe down a little late, though. Check it out. 400 minerals. His Nexus is going to be a solid 2 seconds late, maybe 3 seconds there. Not the end of the world, of course. It's kind of interesting to note that. And he's going to go for a 21-second pylon on the low ground. Probe does circle the main, sees what BYUN's up to. And BYUN, of course, with his double gas opening, starts a factory. And he pulls one worker off each gas. That's interesting. Only one off each gas, not the two. Normally you pull 2 off one gas, 1 off the other to get that command center down as fast as possible. But I guess he still wants to have a little bit more tech than he might normally. The barracks is going to float back to a more protected position. He doesn't want his reactor exposed up there where it can get sniped from the low ground. Is still in, if it was a TvT, siege tank range, but nothing from Protoss can really shoot that far. Reaper's going to bounce in towards the main base. Here we go. Can he get any kills? First Adepts just pop, but remember that gateway's down there blocking the Reaper ledge. ASTREA with some good micros so far. Oh, he's got to be careful. That Reaper will rotate. Oh, good probe micro. Very good probe micro, guys. Not a single probe goes down. Just a bit of mining time. Does delay the Twilight Council from starting by a few seconds, but not the end of the world. Probe is still circling in the main as well. Uh-oh. I mean, this is really good from ASTREA. If he can keep that probe alive a little bit longer, that'll be amazing. Look, he's still queuing it around. There's just nothing here that can take care of it. Command center on the high ground. Factory, starport on the way as well. The Reaper is thinking about jumping around. Like to confirm the tech. And he tries to bounce himself, but no, that angle was never going to work there. And this probe is still circling. The Marine's finally out, but knowing exactly what's happening. I mean, you look at this and you're like, cool. I guess you're gonna Widowmine drop me in a little bit, right? And then this just looks super standard. Like there's nothing for ASTREA to worry about. And so wait. He's going Robo already? Okay, Robo second gate. Looks like just a 2-gate blink opening. He could go 4-gate blink potentially. BYUN. Oh, he's gonna lose his Reaper. Do we see a 3rd and a 4th gateway? ASTREA, if he's gonna do it, he's got to do it right now. Oh, no, he's just going to go take a 3rd base. I like that call. I think ASTREA is much better at taking a 3rd base. I think his 4-gate blink is something where he would need to drill that at least a couple dozen games in quick succession to really get himself up to the level where his 4-gate blink is deadly. Max Pack's Hero have done that thousands of times. That's why they're the best in the world at it. Widowmine drop actually sneaks through. The Adepts don't see it, which means you got a little bit less damage to deal with this. Uh-oh. He's only got 1 Stalker at home. 2 gateways are ready. He's going to warp those Stalkers in right now. He's chrono boosting Blink and ain't going to be ready. This is a very quick drop, guys. He has 1 Stalker to defend 3 Widowmine drop. Oh, man. And he even hides that Widowmine. So if ASTREA doesn't realize that Widowmine's there, he could pull his probes into it. Oh, man. Stalker's warping in on the natural. But they're actually going to deal with that Widowmine quite well. Oh, very nice. And you know what? He hasn't lost any workers. A fair bit of mining time does go down. That's not inconsequential. 3rd base is up now. Probe is idling behind that one. ASTREA's got to be careful to not get too distracted here. This Widowmine drop really does a good bit of disruption. Robobay goes down as well as a 4th gas right now for ASTREA. He's getting up towards, of course, the Colossus. He usually goes for a very quick charge with this build as well, so don't be surprised if he goes charge and just sits on 2 gateways for a long time, making Colossus, Stalkers, and Zealots. BYUN's going to sneak by with a Raven. It looks like ASTREA is going to be pushing forward with these units. Maybe looking for this, but oh yeah, he's anticipated it, but he's a little bit too late. ASTREA is, you can see this, just 10 seconds behind on setting these Stalkers up, and the Raven just gets on by. And that's going to allow it to get into this dead space where it can come in and pick either Mineral Line to drop auto turrets. That's so annoying, because you've already got Stalkers here. Now you're going to have to leave Stalkers here and here. This is so irritating. And a Marine tank push is moving out for BYUN right now. BYUN's got a second and third barracks up behind it. He's going to start building those extra tech labs on the barracks, the reactors on the starports. Oh, he's so annoying. And how do you deal with this as ASTREA? I mean, you see the push coming with the Observer. You now see it again with the Adept. Colossus is on the way. It's going to be ready in about 30 seconds. Shield battery with a backup pylon is on the way. Not much supply free right now for ASTREA. Widowmine drop comes in, gets 2 probes. Those Stalkers could take care of it. That would be fantastic, and indeed they do. Meanwhile, a Stalker goes down in the middle of the map as well, though. 2 Stalkers, in fact, went down there. Oh, no, that's very costly. He doesn't have many units. Every Stalker is sacred. He doesn't even have enough to one-shot a Marine right now. But with the shield battery, he may be okay. Oh, those siege tanks. He's going to have to pull these probes away. Careful. The Raven is still waiting in the back there, guys. The Raven's going to come in right now and drop some auto turrets behind the natural expansion. One goes in there. The Stalker does distract it a little bit. Raven will still take out 2 or 3 probes there. Looks like 3 probes as that auto turret runs out. Colossus Stalker comes forward. A few more probes must have gone down in this base. And an auto turret in the main as well. 8 probes in total. The Stalkers are going to take out the siege tank, but not before taking heavy losses and just barely getting back to safety. The last Marines do go down. ASTREA is going to return to mining. He's lost 8 workers. He's also lost 5 Stalkers, but that's actually a lot of expensive Terran units. It was a positive trade for the Protoss. The problem, of course, comes with the fact that there's no charge. There's only 2 gateways, and you lost a lot of mining time. There's also still that Raven pinning 2 Stalkers in the back of the base. Now, the Observer sees the next push out of BYUN, but ASTREA is still in a rather fragile position. That being said, this doesn't really feel like a kill timing for BYUN. BYUN starts a 3rd command center behind it, 4th and 5th barracks as well. Oh my god, watch out! No, BYUN! Okay, ASTREA doesn't want to blink forward because he'll lose all the Stalkers if he does that, but oh man, he still gets a medevac, a few Marines, and a Widowmine just like that. He's going to blink forward and try to get the medevac as well. It does barely escape. 4th and 5th barracks are on that way, but man, yeah, now losing that drop. Look at ASTREA's map vision. Often in his games versus BYUN, he basically sees his corner of the map and nothing else, but now he's got a bit of map vision. He's got an Adept there, an Observer there. This Observer over here, his army's pretty well spread as well. So he's kind of ready to receive anything. He's not quite confident enough to move his Observers forward to BYUN side of the map, but he is kind of getting to that position where he is a little bit more confident and able. Up to 7. Now 8 gateways are finishing up. ASTREA is making a sentry for Guardian Shield. Charge is on the way. And notice there's no gases on the 3rd and no 4th nexus. As I say that, he's going to build some more spotting pylons to get future vision of any drops coming in. Now, BYUN's on Biomine. The problem is, Biomine does not counter 3 Colossus. Not at all. That Marine should be able to take out that. Oh, he gets out of range. Very nice. Auto turrets come in and distract. 3 probes go down. The Observer barely survives here. And the Raven finally being dealt with. That's good for ASTREA. He does take a few seconds to go back to mining. Look at this. He's got a big army out here. If he can catch this Biomine, the Biomine cannot beat this army. BYUN is way behind right now. He needs to base trade. He cannot fight this front on. He realizes. He's just like, nope, abandon ship, run away, run away, run away. If he can defend with his rally at home, this is a big enough bioforce to really cause ASTREA problems, especially because Artosis is right there. Oh no! 3 gateways in the robo going down. No disruptors will be coming out in this game. Stalkers do blink in the main as well as the Colossus, but look at that. The Bio actually take out 1, 2 Stalkers. Oh, ASTREA with some hot pickup saves a few of them though. Very nicely done by him. The SCV is getting roasted by the Colossus. When these 4 gateways go down, that's all of ASTREA's production in this game absolutely wiped. Zealot Sentry does run in the front, but notice the Bio says, hey, that's okay. We can fight you away from the Colossus. We'll take that engagement any day of the week. Yes, I'm going to get overwhelmed, but I'll take whatever I can out with me. It's not that much, though. A lot of the Zealots do survive the Stalkers. We're just too good at chasing everything down. The Vikings, if they could turn to take out the Colossus, would be great. Looks like, I think ASTREA has seen this. Look at that. He's going to blink after them. He's going for these Vikings. He doesn't want to let any anti-Colossus units escape in this game. Blink is going to be ready in a moment. I don't know if he can really chase that Viking down, though. The Bio now chasing down to the 3rd base. ASTREA coming back with a few Zealots. He's got to be careful. You don't want to throw those away. Concussive Marauders could smash those Zealots down. Battery Overcharge actually gets in there. The Zealots, if they could take out some Marauders, that'd be big. And he actually gets one of them, but that's not going to be that much. A few probes will escape to the right side. He's already building a Nexus over here as ASTREA. I think ASTREA comes out on top of this just because the army supply is so massive. You know, you don't have any SCVs or any sizable SCV count up. Your command centers are getting blasted down by these stalkers, and that Colossus count is just unstoppable. There's still a Warp Prism as well. That can be used to hot pick up these Colossus. Biomine does not counter this. ASTREA with that fantastic probe scouting, just seeing everything in BYUN's main base at the start of this, and now cleaning things up decisively. Beautiful handling of multiple Widowmine drops and Raven harassments. BYUN mounted some good pressure in this, but ASTREA, I think, just had too good scouting. Played a really solid defensive game. BYUN's army is so wounded. I mean, even if he takes that Nexus out, ASTREA cancels it. He can rebuild that anytime he wants to. And what do you have going for you? A command center hiding on the right, a command center hiding on the left. He tries to drop in the main to take out the Stalkers. The Stalkers get some shots off before pulling back. Colossus walk up to the high ground, and BYUN, he's feeling his heart sink right now because he really does not have a lot of things to play with. There we go. GG. Nice win for ASTREA. All right, guys. Nice game one victory for ASTREA in the top right, representing Bloody Matcher Reno, his new team. Good on him. And he's up against BYUN, but he's sending a probe across at the very start of this game. He was hoping to maybe catch a proxy barracks or something like that, but even as it is, he can do some good harassment. BYUN's a little slow to pull that SCV. Oh, but the SCV kind of doubled back quickly. That was interesting. And ASTREA's probe just going to do some more harassment here. Oh, big thank you for the subs, guys. Sorry, my alert sound's accidentally turning themselves on. Shout out to those on YouTube who heard that alert. And oh, it's BYUN. Okay. Oh my god, oh god. If he turns, he's going to get hit. If he turns. Oh, that was so smart. ASTREA just kept going in a straight line because he needed to regen any shields or hit points to survive there. And then he does it again. He's past 5. He survives another hit. Beautiful for ASTREA. BYUN pulling the SCVs, not getting the kill. That's super worth it for ASTREA. And BYUN's got to be shaking his head a little bit in disappointment, frustration. Nexus goes down pre-Cybercore. Nice greedy build here for ASTREA. Ooh, and that's going to work out very well. Okie dokie. So it is actually going to be a Marine expand, it looks like, for BYUN. He's going to go expand on the high ground. Oh! Too close to the sun. Probe hung around. Normally you can get away with that. Scout if it's a Marine or a Reaper and then move out. But he was already too damaged. So the probe does fall. On the other hand, he confirms it's a Marine, which means ASTREA is like, cool, I'm just going to chrono probes. No worries, dude. Second pylon's really late, though. Oh, what the hell? ASTREA. I think that chrono was too early. I think he's going to hit a little bit of a supply block here. You meant to wait for that pylon to be almost finished before you chrono that. It is what it is. He's going to go sentry first. Oh, cute. Okay, guys, so we're going to see ASTREA's sentry opening. He could do this into Blink or Robo. The hallucination will scout everything that BYUN's doing, give him warning of what's happening. So ASTREA wants to play with full information in this game. Now notice, he's actually pulling off... He's pulled off gas! He's pulled off gas. He's only got one worker on each gas. He's doing the quick third Nexus build. Oh, it's the ASTREA special. This is one of my favorites. This is one of my absolute favorite builds. He normally does this into 3 gates and then a Robo. And if you as the Terran get over eager and try to punish this with an early push, you end up down in the dumps because he will have an Immortal and a bunch of gateway units. Obviously, ASTREA's Twilight is so delayed with this style. Like, he does end up in a bit of an awkward position with his mobility lacking. But a frontal attack doesn't work until after stim is finished. And that's the mistake most Terrans make. Now, BYUN hasn't scouted. He's just going to go for a Hellion. Hallucination's going to scout for ASTREA at the same time. And it does look like BYUN's just going Marine Tank. Wait. Is he going Marine Tank Medevac? Or is that Tech Lab just to swap over and build a Raven after this Medevac? No, he's building a Siege Tank. Okay, BYUN is doing a peculiar build. He has not scouted at all. He has this decided before the game even started. The hallucination is seeing it. I mean, he knows what's going on. That's a very aggressive opening. No add-on on the starport? What are you doing? It has to be a Viking, a Medevac, or a Liberator. All more aggressive units at this stage of the game. Tech Lab Factory, likewise. Cyclone or Siege Tank, as opposed to the harassment units like Hellions or Widowmines. Second and third gate and a Robo coming in. ASTREA's probing pretty darn well. And remember, that third Nexus pops you up in supply a lot. Does build a pylon on his natural just so he has a fast warp in available there. He's probing pretty hard. But he should know this push is coming. No shield battery started. I think ASTREA is messed up by not building a shield battery. That's not going to be there. And actually, this is a decent little number of units. He's only got a few Stalkers and Sentries. ASTREA does not have an Immortal. He's building an Observer. ASTREA has misread this opening. He had all the information he needed here, but a big misplay for ASTREA. Getting caught out, he did not think that BYUN would be so brave. This is such an odd push. This is reminiscent of TY in 2017 winning, you know, 2017, I think it was when he won Katowice. Damn. Probe does go down as well as 2 sentries. He's going to pull the boys, but watch out for the siege tank volleys. Oh, no. Oh, those probes are getting hammered. ASTREA does focus the tank down, at which point his Marines will beat, Stalkers will beat those Marines. Oh, the Marines get another Stalker, though, making the best of an awkward tail end of the fight. BYUN there. But ASTREA loses 13 workers and 2 sentries. I said if you try to do a quick attack to punish it, it won't work. And you might be like, well, Pig, you're so wrong. Guess what? In a normal game, you're building a Reaper. You're scouting. You're reacting with a fast push. BYUN didn't react to anything in this game. He chose to do that push before he even scouted the 3rd base. BYUN coming out with a super streamlined build. He spent no money on scouting other than that Hellion. He basically just went as hard as he possibly could. Now, ASTREA, after defending that, is doing some madman shiz. He's going double Forge and a Robo Bay. What in the hell is that? Oh, ASTREA sees 2 tanks moving out. He should track that army. 100% he should track that army, but he wants to see the production. He sees 2nd and 3rd barracks and Starport coming up. He's going to try to move out to intercept, but that means the Liberator's going to catch him off guard. That Stalker can't really get in range of that. Uh-oh. That's a bummer. Okay, Stalker will chase the Liberator off. He goes back to mining now. Let's kind of mess up a little bit there. ASTREA may be playing a little frantically. Oh, he's seeing the tanks pick up into the medevac. That's interesting. And that Observer... Oh, the Observer twerks its way to safety. And BYUN's got to be frustrated by that. Having to drop 2 scans to clean this up. Remember, ASTREA's being crazy greedy, guys. He's trying to go double Forge 4 gas right now. He doesn't have charge started or nothing like that. He's just like, lol. And he's up 15 workers. He's way ahead. There's no 3rd command center started. BYUN needs to get damage done. He needs to get it done now. This dance in the middle of the map for map control is so interesting to watch. I'd like to see that Observer pull down and help defend it. Liberator's going to go past. Barely gets glimpsed by the Observer. Don't know if ASTREA noticed that. He's only got 3 gateways right now. He's also not got much firepower. The first Colossus is just emerging. Liberator, look at this. He's going to siege it on the natural to distract ASTREA while ASTREA is trying to defend here at the 3rd. Nice siege up location. You've got to go pretty far away from the shield battery to fight that. And look at that. Catches him off guard. Great positioning by BYUN. ASTREA was maybe expecting him in the main, but not the natural. Stalkers are going to try and drag these Widow Mines away from the center of mass. Colossus does take care of those units. A good hold for ASTREA. ASTREA is actually going to clean this up, but wait. His Colossus, it got clicked on a Marine. His Colossus got targeted on a Marine, and he's distracted by the Liberator right now. He's not watching. Oh, no. He throws away a Colossus because this Liberator has been so well microed by BYUN. That should have been a game-ending hold. The 3rd command center is not even finished. You're on 60 workers. If he holds that, keeps the Colossus alive, then he's perfectly fine and he's 100%. But right now, BYUN is desperate to get more damage done. He says, well, I killed a Colossus. Maybe there's an opportunity. Slow Zealots are so immobile. You don't want to drop right on top of them, though. I guess he says, I've got the numbers. I can drop right on top of them. The Stalkers and the Zealot pulling back that shield battery is not really helping right now. He needs it over on the left somewhere. Slow Zealots are going to buy time, but they're not going to actually kill anything. Stalkers and the Colossus coming up, but that's the whole army of ASTREA. And look at that. He loses almost nothing. Picks up, gets out. The medevac survives. And now there's the real problem. It's, okay, he's going to recall down there. But that means he's leaving almost no units in the main. The Stalkers need to hit. They need to hit the full medevac. They click on the wrong one. Oh, this redrop for BYUN. BYUN's so far behind economically, or at least he was. But he's getting in right before 1-1 upgrades. He forces the recall back to the 3rd. And he gets so many Stalker kills. And that's the real value. You might think, well, he's not killing him. He's not, guys. But 9 Stalkers is so valuable. Look at the units lost tab. 50% more efficient. And now he's got his 3rd up. Now he's got all those normal pieces of the game. 2-2, Charge, and Viagra all on the way right now. Viagra is almost finished, but 2-2 and Charge are miles away. BYUN making a terrible choice to fight this with just SCVs. He's going to lose 7 SCVs to 2 Zealots. Not a great trade, but it's because he wants to keep his momentum on the front. Gets a few more Stalkers for some bio units. Takes out the pylon on the high ground of that cliff. Colossus and the Stalkers are going to take this out. The Widow Mines fire on the Zealots. Having to sacrifice these units because he's only got 1 Observer for detection. And it's in the middle of the map. ASTREA needs to see where the army is rotating to. Oh, the Stalker Zealot's going to try to defend, but dude, you can't afford to lose these Stalkers. The battery's not quite ready. BYUN's focus fire is insane. He ignores the Zealot, stutter steps forward, focuses down another 7 Stalkers, bringing it up to 17 Stalkers killed in total. Those units are so expensive. This is always the problem with a style like this as ASTREA, is if you're out of position once and you lose your Stalkers, you've got to rebuild the bad unit. The Stalker is not a good unit. Every time he has to warp in more and then lose them immediately, it's such a good trade for BYUN, who is maintaining a 2,000 resource lost advantage. ASTREA starts a 4th base in the midst of it. If anyone can take a punch and bounce back, it is ASTREA. But right now, 6 gateways. He's finally got charge and 2-2 kicking in. It's a minute till 2-2 and only about 15 seconds till charge. That's going to help him out a lot. Having some Zealots in there really will be massive. He's got 1 Colossus at the bottom, at his 3rd, 1 in the main. And he's actually swapping to Immortals. I think it's because he realizes he's behind and he knows Vikings are coming. So ASTREA's already trying to prepare for the next step of the game where the Viking count is going to be so high, he knows he can't contest that. So he's like, well, let's already preemptively move away from the Colossus and let's move into some Immortals. He's going to get a Templar Archives. He's got 6 gases up, does ASTREA. ASTREA needs to transfer workers right now. His main and his 3rd are both massively oversaturated. But his 4th is very exposed out there. It doesn't feel like a very safe 4th. ASTREA is going for a counter-attack. 2 Zealots in the 3rd. Zealot dropping the main. If ASTREA can buy himself about a minute to get out some more maybe Disruptors or Psystorm or something, it could be really huge for him. This is going to pull a lot of BYUN's forces home. You can see on the minimap, BYUN's whole army is starting to track home. Oh, bad Zealot warp in. Bad Zealot warp in. Oh, ASTREA. Okay, good cancel. He unsieges the Warp Prism, which does let that get canceled. This is a good trade with these Zealots, and most importantly, it buys him a lot of time. 11, 12 SCVs go down, and if he focus fires, he can get a few more as well. Oh my god, he's getting so many. He's getting so many, guys. 19? BYUN not handling that one very well. He takes 19 SCV losses and gives up a bit of momentum. Now, ASTREA, he's trying to go Storm. Plus 3 armor, plus 3 attack on the way. So he's going to go for 3 upgrades. Right now, he's up 2 upgrades. I kind of feel Disruptors are still necessary, though, because Ghosts are coming in. There's 8 Vikings. The Colossus are going to do nothing. You're basically fighting mass gateway versus mass bio ghost. Now you might say the upgrades are there, double upgrade advantage. That's good. Yeah, if ghosts come though, I will take EMP over a double upgrade advantage any day of the week, especially because Stim bio is simply better than Zealot Stalker. The Immortals might help even that out. Psystorm is on the way. Oh, if he can get an effective Storm drop, that'd be great. But there's a lot of Vikings. It's hard to Storm drop when they've got so many Vikings. There's no shield batteries. There's no shield batteries here. Oh no, he's fighting away from shield batteries. He has 1 building in his natural, but the 1 on his 3rd is way too far south. Oh no, shield battery overcharge would have been game-changing in this sort of fight. He's going to try and storm the Vikings. Drop! Oh, big mistake for BYUN, but great pickup. He just saved about 12 Marauders deep in the red. The Vikings lift off, take out that Prism. The Stalkers are going to start chasing them. Colossus are building right now, as are Archon, Stalkers, and Zealots. ASTREA is so far ahead economically. He's still down in army supply. But right now, 2-2's finishing, which means the upgrade advantage is disappearing, and 3-3 is not done yet. And that means right now is a very weak moment for ASTREA. 5 Ghosts coming in with EMP. He needs doubled Robo or something. He needs Disruptors. He needs something to hold on. His High Templar are way too clumped right now. He's got to be so careful. Oh no, he's lost his only Observer. He's got so little map vision. BYUN needs to kill him right now though. BYUN cannot drag this out. He's got pressure on him. BYUN, you've got to go now. Feedbacks land for the High Templar, but that means there's no Psystorms. Here we go. The battery overcharge is down on the bottom, but these Immortals aren't really near it right now. And oh man, that is just too much bio. There's no firepower here for ASTREA. His Colossus pops out. It's going to waddle down here into this battle, but it's going to be too late, man. ASTREA takes a few punches in that game, but just hats off to BYUN. It was the focusing of the Stalkers, the crazy dropping and redropping of the main that allowed him to win that game. That very well could have been a 2-0 win for ASTREA, but BYUN shows a very good understanding of how to take advantage of ASTREA's lack of mobility, skipping Blink and Phoenix. BYUN knew that if he could just keep dropping and focusing the Stalkers down, he got it. Well played. All right, the crazy defensive build didn't quite work out for him in that last game. Got out positioned just a little. ASTREA in the bottom left side. And now BYUN in the top right of Royal Blood. I always feel like in a game like that, as the Protoss player, you don't necessarily feel like, the build was defunct and I, I screwed up and stuff, because it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you need to make a small mistake or two, but your opponent also needs to happen to be so decisive and almost a little fortuitous. Like there's a little bit of luck in how your armies interact in position and how your armies split up. And I really feel that the first push just kind of surprised ASTREA in that game. Really, right? The sentries were not the right call. Sentries are really good against a slightly later push, I think. But the sentries weren't the right call. Building an observer instead of an immortal early, big mistake for him. And having to lose so many probes, right? Right from the start, I think ASTREA, that was a big mistake. And then later on, it was just a positioning thing where didn't split his army quite right. It's always tough because slow zealots are not upgraded stalkers versus stim bio is one of the nastiest interactions to behold. But ASTREA can afford to be a little inefficient in that last strategy. He can't afford to be that inefficient as he was in that game, though. There's oh yeah, I'm trading a little worse, but it's okay because I have 3 bases up so early. And then there's, I lost 20 stalkers for a few Marines and Marauders. Okay, this is not good. The Marine hides itself to try and trick ASTREA into thinking a Reaper's going to come out because the Reaper pops later. So really interesting play by BYUN, who's going for a Marine into Reactor Expand into a second Barracks. Ooh, this might even be a classic 3 racks. Now ASTREA is chronoing an Adept because he thinks there's a Reaper coming. There is not. So interesting to see. And okay, for a second I thought he was going to take a gold base. I was like, what? Alright, what do we got? Oh, 3rd Barracks. Man, 3 Barracks builds are nasty. Twilight Council is on the way for ASTREA. If you realize it's a 3 racks, it's much simpler. The thing is, I mean, there's no way BYUN's going to leave that depot down, right? So it's very unlikely you get wind of this. That SCV is 1 hit from death. Attempting to dive in there and try to 1-hit it. Not able to. Wait, what? He's building a Marine? Okay, yeah, that was a mistake. Cancels it, builds a tech lab. And he's going to start a bunker now as well. Now, that bunker might give away. That's kind of a late bunker. And you might be like, wait, why are you building a bunker? Because don't you have Widow Mines or Hellions or Cyclones coming out? The only reason you'd build a bunker usually is if you're going for a 3 racks. So this might actually pique ASTREA's curiosity. He might realize, where's the Cyclone? You know, where's the Widow Mine that burrows out here to stop the pressure? With those builds, you'd build a bunker much earlier, right? But he didn't need to because he was making lots of Marines early. So why is he building a bunker now? Uh-oh, that's a very quick 3rd base. Oh no, it's a 2-gate blink 3rd. Uh-oh. ASTREA does not know what's happening right now. On the other hand, he's delayed his Robo, which is a good choice. Oh, he's going to sacrifice an Adept. Genius play by ASTREA. It has longer vision than the Shade. He knows it's a 3 racks now. And he can defend with shield batteries. So he probably wants to get a battery there, a battery over here as well, I would imagine. Actually going to build it behind the wall off. And he's going to try and just make non-stop Stalkers, as well as chrono boosting Blink to deal with this. Blink Stalkers, very effective at stopping a 3 racks. But BYUN is going to have a sheer quantity of units. That is going to be hard to deal with. Engineering Bay is there. Now, I wonder, does Robo get skipped entirely for ASTREA? Does he feel like playing balls to the wall greed? For now, it's going to be a 3rd gateway coming in. Stalkers pick off a Marine. Blink's not ready. He's got to be careful. Stim's not here either, but those Marauders have equal range to the Stalkers, and they do double damage to them. Good micro by ASTREA so far, but as he loses his shields on that Stalker, he's going to have to be a bit more careful. Don't want to be losing that. Uh-oh. But Blink is ready. Gets a bunch of these Marines so far. 4 Marines and an SCV have gone down for just that 1 Scouting Adept sacrifice in this game, and you can't continue to push in. I like that BYUN's using the high ground and kind of trying to keep ASTREA guessing. You can see, look at ASTREA's vision, guys. He's like, where's that army? Where is it? Which way is it coming? You know, he's trying to move around and make sure he doesn't get surprised. But definitely keeping him nervous. But just by threatening like this, BYUN is going to force ASTREA to mess up on his macro a little bit. And we can see it. 500 minerals in the bank. Robo's there. You're very nervous. When is that army going to show up? And always got to be careful. That army could stim on him when he's not looking. Oh, the Stalker comes from the other side for the high ground vision. Oh, that was cute. That was really cute. Forces the stim out. BYUN has to go home. Starts a 4th and 5th Barracks. But I think he realizes it'll get scouted by the Stalkers. So he cancels, starts building in the main instead. Oh my god, BYUN is really committed right now. to what is a massive, massive 2-base production. Lots of gateways and charges on the way. Oh man, I feel like Zealot Stalker is really good at dealing with an early push. But BYUN's, if he waits for those 5 barracks and medevacs to kick in, then I don't know if this is the right call. There we go. Okay, Robobay does go down. I was going to say, what you really need is splash damage, and Colossus is usually king in this sort of game. Dark Shrine as well. Okay, that might be a little bit too much. ASTREA is going for a Dark Shrine and a Robobay and 6-gate Zealot Stalker and 3 sentries. It's a very interesting mix. Force Field's very good with Colossus against this Bioforce, because remember, with the 3 racks, the starport's so late, you don't really have Vikings out. You're only now getting your first 2 medevacs on the field at 6 minutes 30. 4th and 5th barracks building a tech lab and a reactor. And those Stalkers ready to receive. Careful, ASTREA. Does lose a Stalker there for, I think, only 1 Marine. That Bio is going to try and chase him down. Observer sees him. Stalkers come in. Oh! That's another Marine or 2. Good micro by ASTREA so far, but his numbers are just a bit low. Gets an Immortal out, starts a Colossus. I mean, look at the army supply. 62 versus 40, or now 50. Observer gets scanned, and that means BYUN can drop the main base. That's a somewhat predictable maneuver, I would say. But just because you can predict that it probably is a likely option, it doesn't mean it's easy to stop. Splits 4 Stalkers into the main base. Charge is now ready. The first Colossus about to hit the field. Extended Thermal Lance is on the way. I say about to hit the field. Still 10-15 seconds away on that Colossus, actually. No 3rd command center in sight for BYUN. BYUN is as all in as they come. First Colossus going to hit the field. Oh, he's regrouping that drop back to his main army. This is interesting. So BYUN keeps kind of showing the threat of the drop towards the main, but not actually going for it. Now, ASTREA, he's got a shield battery there. That can heal to about this area. This one can only heal here. These units out front. Oh, good force fields. Really nice force fields here by ASTREA, but his Colossus hasn't really landed any big hits on the Marine. Not yet. He's got to be careful. I think he's got to get over to the battery right now. His force fields are running out. He's got to be careful. BYUN exhausts all of the sentries there. Oh, no blink on that Stalker. He'd used the blink aggressively. Does get a Widow Mine. ASTREA kind of wants to force the fight, but he's got to be cautious. I feel like that favored BYUN. It did, yeah. He got a bunch of Stalkers and sentries and Zealots. His units lost tab looking pretty good. He's going to Doom drop the main base. Oh, BYUN scans the army out of position. ASTREA, uh-oh, that main base is in trouble right now. Luckily for him, +1 will finish in time. He's going to warp in 4 Dark Templar and start doing a backstab. He's got to worry about defending that main base for now, though. BYUN here with a fierce intention. Does take out 2 Stalkers with the Widow Mines. The Dark Templar is there, but that kind of warns BYUN of what's coming. And oh my god, he didn't bring enough units to defend. He left a few units out the front. He doesn't have enough to defend the main or the 3rd. Oh no! The Colossus gets clicked on. BYUN out positioning him. And ASTREA gets too cute for his own good, trying to go for the Dark Templar against the 2-base all-in. He just didn't have the information. He did not realize this was a 2-base all-in. He never scouted that lack of a 3rd command center. ASTREA assumed, you know, yeah, there's probably a 3rd CC. I'll go defend with Colossus, Stalker, Zealot, go into Dark Templar. But now BYUN is large and in charge in terms of that army and seems to have found the value. Oh, no scans available right now. Dark Templar getting some good damage. Not actually able to finish any units off, though. BYUN even picking up and dropping. Finally, a couple of Marines start to fall. 3 Marines make it 4. And the Stalker, Zealot, Colossus. If he can defend his 3rd base, then I do think ASTREA is fine. Trying to bait those Widow Mine shots. A few Stalkers do go down, though. He's got to defend this 3rd base, but look at that. He doesn't want to throw his army into the meat grinder, and he loses his 3rd Nexus for it. ASTREA's 26 worker advantage isn't worth that much if he doesn't have the bases to mine from. Single Zealot drops in, Warp Prism goes in, goes out. 4th base is on the right. Actually, oh, he can transfer his probes there. That's kind of cool. The probes are going to transfer. He actually has a 4th in the bottom right. ASTREA can use most of those workers. Rebooting his 3rd right now. Dude, how ASTREA, I really thought he was going to crumble and die. But as always, he's so good at coming back in PvT. He has a really unique characteristic. Very few players play PvT like ASTREA. 2 Colossus are out. 3rd is halfway done, but he's got to split his army. This is the problem on this map. Look, he's got great vision on the far left, but this area where the Doom Drop's coming, he is not ready. He's going to have to recall, and that means that army on the right could cause him a lot of trouble. Recall in the main. I wouldn't be surprised to see BYUN just leave, but oh, he gets a Colossus! Oh, he does that. Marauder barely finishes the Colossus, and he loses the empty medevac only. Oh, this is a disaster. ASTREA finds himself deep in doo-doo town. He's going to have to start using his hands to paddle his way out of here. He's going to have to get his hands real dirty, but oh no, the probes all getting trapped. Ow, ow, ow. Not a single probe getting out. 27 workers go down on the 4th base. The Nexus falls. There's still an army threatening on the left, so ASTREA can't even collect his forces. He's just outnumbered on every side. Dark Templar do walk in, but each time they go in, they kill one SCV. The problem right now is Dark Templar are good against an opponent who cares about their economy. BYUN does not care about his economy. He's on 2 bases this entire time. BYUN does not need to keep his workers alive because he's already got double the army advantage. So backstabs aren't finding the mark. They aren't finding any damage. A new Dark Templar goes in the main as well. Obviously, ASTREA is trying to split his attention, distract him, all this sort of stuff. But it's just not achieving that much, is it? And that Dark Templar, unfortunately, in turret range does go down. Keeps on warping in these Dark Templar and trying to keep the pressure up. Maybe intercepting the rally could work out. But here we go. BYUN's going to force it right now. Viking Marauder comes in. The Colossus trying to hold the line. That battery does not get overcharged because he'd already used it before this. The Vikings, such a big problem for those Colossus. One of them is deep in the yellow hit points. Stalkers will take care of those Vikings, but he can't afford to lose this 3rd Nexus. Not again. BYUN's army very wounded. The Dark Templar kills a few of them. Stalkers maybe going to blink after that. They do get one medevac shot down out of the sky. I mean, the problem for BYUN is the lack of mining because his main's mining out, but he lifts that up. He's going to float down to his 3rd base and continue 2-base income. ASTREA's got 2 Colossus and Immortal, 2 Dark Templar, 4 Stalkers and a Dream. He's warping in sentries right now. For anyone who's ever watched Hero, when he's desperate, we know about the late game sentry warp-ins. It's when you just don't have anything good to spend your gas on. Your mineral income keeps getting hammered, so you end up with a big gas bank, and you're like, well, maybe I'll warp in sentries 12 minutes into the game? Ugh. It's not like it's a bad play, it's just a desperate play. It shows how much ASTREA is put in a corner. He doesn't have a Templar Archives to spend that gas. He could make Dark Templar and use those as Archons, but they're very mineral heavy as well. Ghost Academy does go down as well, so it's going to be Marauders, Vikings, Ghosts all coming in. Still 2 Colossus alive from earlier in this game. ASTREA is going to hang in and try to survive, but it does feel like that army supply is always so scary for him, and now 1-1 upgrades versus 0-0. There's not a very good Viking complement. I guess there's only 2. Ideally, you get to 6 Vikings as BYUN, get a few Ghosts out, and then you push. You can push with 3 Ghosts, 6 Vikings. The Ghosts will counter everything, but actually ASTREA is going to try to kill him. ASTREA is like, okay, I need to get something done. He's trying to force his way in, but the Widowmine's making it hard for him to do that. And BYUN, look at that. Great lift to the command center. Just collecting his forces. And he's got Ghosts on the way, but he might be able to fight pre-Ghost. He just doesn't want to get his army chopped up by force fields. Notice the way BYUN is very afraid of those force fields. 3 go down. 2 Marauders fall. One of them gets saved by the medevac. Observer goes down there, which means ASTREA's vision is not as powerful. And BYUN's waiting. He's got Ghosts out now. 1 or 2 EMPs on those sentries, and ASTREA's army's going to crumble. He's trying to make +1 armor. Disruptors, more Dark Templar, but look at this. Watch this from BYUN's camera, guys. He's hunting. Look at that. His Ghosts moving off to the left. He wants to land those EMPs. He wants to land those EMPs. Oh my god, watch out. Watch out, ASTREA. Oh no, massive EMPs land. BYUN sets that trap up by moving a few bio units to the right to clean up a pylon. ASTREA thought he could get some units out in the open, but he ends up being the one getting caught out there. And even though he takes what looked like a good fight, the rest of the army collapses in on him, and the disruptors avoided. BYUN just looking too strong right now. That's a turgid Terran if I've ever seen one, and he's going to be tearing apart the terrible Protoss, because alliteration is fun. BYUN just playing fantastic StarCraft, guys. Marine Marauder really killing it. A few units do get split by the force fields, but there's so little damage behind it. That's the big problem. Stalkers and Sentries do not beat Bio Ghost Medevac, even when the Bio's split by force fields and heavily damaged. Look how quickly those Stalkers crumble, and BYUN, after a very rough Game 1 in this series and a tight Game 2, does look to overwhelm in Game 3 with a big 5 racks, 2 base attack. No 3rd base ever. Somehow the supply is still surprisingly close. Dude, ASTREA are actually making some insane defensive holds in this game. I mean, he's building a 4th Nexus? It's not possible, is it? Oh, I totally forgot! ASTREA was looking completely dead in this game. And then for those who didn't know, basically what happened here is BYUN forfeited. I totally forgot that this happened when I chose to cast this, because I remember this was a very competitive series. And basically what happened here is BYUN had to take a break because he had to pause because his wrists were just in so much pain after this match and his previous matches. And he actually called for a pause. He was in so much pain. And after a few minutes, he basically said that the admins were like, hey, it's been 5 minutes. Like, you need to resume right now, basically. And he said, okay, I forfeit. Like, I literally can't play. I'm in that much pain. And it was kind of heart-shattering when we saw it. But I want to go in and just say quickly at the end, like, do we think that BYUN had this in the bag? Because I think he probably did. I think ASTREA agrees he probably did. Because if you look at the income, it's very similar, 37 workers versus 45. Even though ASTREA is getting a 4th Nexus open, that's just allowing him to maintain his workers having mining. But he doesn't really have any big comeback play here. It's equal upgrades. And he's got extended thermal lance and a single Colossus, but it's only one Colossus. I feel like the Bio Ghost is always going to trade a lot better in these scenarios. So very well played here, but very unfortunate that... yeah, basically, BYUN had to forfeit this match, and ASTREA goes through. It said that he forfeited, but ASTREA left the game. Yeah, so that's just because the score screen pops up that way. Yeah. But anyway, guys, really well played by ASTREA to hang in there. Obviously, I don't think he really thought... he probably thought, okay, I have a 10%, maybe 15% chance of getting back in this game. But he, at least, you can tell how hard he made BYUN play. BYUN had to do so many opportunistic dives and constant micro. And ASTREA made BYUN play his heart out. And unfortunately, you know, it's one of these things where I don't know what we can possibly do or what BYUN can do to fix his wrists. Unfortunate way that things went. Shout out to ASTREA for playing as well as he did. Shout out to BYUN, though, for once again showing that he is just an absolute monster in this matchup. And look at that unit slots tab. 8,000 resources ahead. GG, well played, but once again, another heart-shattering moment for BYUN whenever he shows up to the big tournaments where those nerves get the better of him, and he gets so tense and his wrists instantly get inflamed, and he just has this insane pain that he never experiences at home when he's off camera. Either way, GG, well played. I do think BYUN had an 80% chance or more of winning from this scenario. I think he still had the army supply advantage, and the problem for ASTREA is always going to be that he's such a low army count. BYUN can pick up, drop 2 medevacs in the main, and then push the far right side, and there's no way ASTREA can possibly defend both at once. So I think BYUN, with wrists in good condition, definitely would have won the game. As it was, though, that's a big issue he's going to have to fix over time. GG, well played. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry for the anticlimactic finish on this one, but just a reminder of the fact that it's kind of crazy that BYUN has this weird issue, and I hope he sorts it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.